councillor member of the city council.
And we are live, Mr. Chair.
Oh, there's Nancy.
All right, thank you. Welcome everyone to our finance meeting here today. We'll call it to order. Is there any conflicts of interest?
No.
No. Okay. Can we get approval of the agenda?
Sure.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Oh, yes.
Just under the agenda, I know Tina sent out an email about this issue on 5C, professional land use and strategic planning consulting services. With Councillor Ramsey here as part of the Finance Committee, that was at the Strategic Priorities Committee level, and I thought the discussion was going back to the committee before going to tender. Could you, Kevin, Councillor Ramsey, can you give some clarification? I didn't make it to that meeting on, I think it was November 25th.
Right. Tina, sorry, I almost call her Nina. Tina is looking at RFPs and all that, and that's why we didn't have our meeting last week, because we didn't get all the updates on it on a few other questions, and she was getting all the information for us.
And the committee gave permission to go to tender, Your Worship.
It did.
Yes, it did.
So
Yes,
there was a discussion of what was going out for the tender, Councillor Ramsey?
I believe there was, yes.
Tina, did you want to clarify that point? If it's okay with and you, Mr. Chair, Tina may be able to add some value to that.
Sorry, just getting my video. I don't. Is this live? Because I
yes,
have
it is
this
live.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm going to turn you over here then and look at something a little nicer.
This is live.
Than my horror calendar that I have in the background. Yes, so through the chair to all of the participants here. Yes, we did go through the process. We had discussions through both committees, and this actually was an initiative that came up initially through the planning committee as part of the official planning process and was approved up that way. And what we agreed to do was to keep the strategic initiatives as well as the planning committee informed as we moved through the process, as well as council. So that has been done, and everyone is on board and in support, and we have it out on the street. We also have a consulting agreement that is going to be executed with it, that has been vetted through external counsel as well as myself. So it is, it's good to go, and council will be kept apprised as we move along, as will both of those committees.
Mr. Chair, just a clarification. Tina, external counsel, what reference, is that council itself, or is that, could you define?
Oh, I'm sorry. Our legal counsel is officially, as you know, an external firm. So I just wanted everyone to know that what we've been doing has been vetted through them as well.
Okay. So, Mr. Chair, just to clarify, Councillor Ramsey, the discussion on November 25th was to allow this to go to where we're at today. Right.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair, Deputy Mayor Cody.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Can we get adoption of minutes from January 5th and 12th? Oh, move. Perfect, thank you. Okay, we'll move into 5A, tenders. One service body for a Dodge Ram that's attached. I don't know if there's any questions on that, or okay, so we're okay with.
I think Nancy is muted. Nancy, you're muted.
Sorry, thank you. I just wanted to say that there was just one quote, and it was from McFarland's Industrial for $27,609.
Okay.
Yes.
So we're okay with that?
Free.
All right, so we'll move on. 5C, posted but not closed. The professional land use and strategic planning consulting services closes on February 22nd. Any questions, comments on that?
That's right. That's a two-part plan. It's Tina's initiative, and it's the strat plan for, the visions and values and strategic goals and priorities for the city. And then there's the official plan, And that's prepared in accordance with PEI's Planning Act, and it'll set out strategic visions and priorities to guide future growth and development in the city. So that's the first one, and that closes February 22nd. The second one is the pole-mounted Christmas displays, and these are rust protected, and they have like adequate wiring to reach the plugs, and they're for all those lovely snowflakes and angels and reindeers and wreaths that we see along various routes. And the third one is the Farley Street reconstruction, and that actually was on the budget for last year, but wasn't completed. So it's on the budget for this year. The tender is heading out, and this includes, it's a reconstruction of approximately 280 meters of street, and it'll be in conjunction with utility. So those are the updates on what's been posted but not closed as yet.
Okay. Any question? Oh, Your Worship?
I do. Nancy, again, on the professional land use and strategic planning consulting services, will you be leading that when it's finalized, or when we get a successful bidder, or will Tina, maybe that's a question for Tina or Mr. Kelly, who will be leading that? I know with the planning, that'll have to come through Alex Forbes or someone from the
That's
planning.
right.
So on
Heritage.
both of those, Your Worship, Tina will be the lead, but of course she'll be working with staff, and that's both on the OP and the strategic plan, Your Worship. But and she'll take the lead and working with other departments as required.
Okay, so we're looking at a full-time focus on both those issues over the next 3-6 months?
Did you want to talk about that to Tina a bit?
It will be a major focus, yes. I will still be handling other things. For the most part, the strategic planning process is where I'm going to be taking the most active role. And once we move into more focused planning process, I'm going to be relying very heavily on Alex to be taking the lead with my oversight for the planning part. So it's strategic planning and OP are together. The intense part for the strategic plan is going to come first, and there's going to be work done in tandem for the official plan, and then that will help guide the official plan proper, which is the second part of the process.
Mr. Chair, the official plan has received funding from the gas tax transfer or the building fund transfer, and that has been a primary focus for the last couple of years. So I'm hoping, I'm praying that we will be focused on that at the beginning. I think Ms. Lococo said that it will be strategic priorities, but this official plan hasn't, and Councillor Duffy knows this, there hasn't been a major overhaul of this plan since 1999 when it was adopted as Amalgamated City. So I just want to stress that point of the importance of the official plan being reviewed and changes coming forward.
And I can address that if you'd like me to.
Sure.
There's no chance that the official plan process and revamping is not going through. So one is not.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, and in terms of prioritization, it is definitely a high priority. And yes, the funding was brought about through the official plan. And they are also aware that part of the strategic planning process is necessary in order for the official planning process to be done properly and within legislative requirements. And our funding partners are aware of that and are supportive of that approach.
Yeah, because Mr. Chair, the official plan is a municipal legislative decision. It's one of our legislations that we passed through this municipality in 1999 and have changed and amended since. So any changes that have to go through will have to be approved by provincial government through the municipal affairs department. And so again, the focus is, again, I know that we're going forward on this, but the focus has to be definitely planning, development and heritage, and where we're going, where we will go in the future with our planning for the city. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so it sounds like we're okay with 5C, those three items. We can move into 6, which is budget transfers. First one is fire.
Yes, this is a significant transfer in total. However, it's made up of a multitude of various accounts. It's, at this time of year, typically finance will send out a report that shows what the budget amounts are and what's over or under budget. So it's a prime time for department heads to reallocate those items that may have been over budget just due to rising costs or vehicle repairs, particularly if they're older vehicles. It's quite hard to predict what the maintenance costs may be. So this is basically kind of a cleanup of the fire department's accounts at this point in time.
And we've also asked, Mr. Chair, that going forward that they try to make their budgets more reflective of actuality, and rather than have to do these large transfers, but there have been some challenges this year's due to supply chains and other factors, and it's here for the committee's discussion or approval.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Councillor Lindsay?
what's the 161 going towards?
It looks like it's all spread out in between 15 or 17 different line items on the right there.
Oh yes, okay. Sorry, I didn't have it up here yet.
Yeah. So it's a variety of transfers to make this work, I guess.
Yeah, there's 27 transfers in total, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
So basically, they have the money, but they're just transferring it around their whole department, right?
That's correct.
Okay, thanks, Nancy. I just want to get the facts straight.
Certainly. So the next transfer is water and sewer, and it's basically the same kind of idea, is that, there was some unexpected expenses, like here for one, there's a $2,000 transfer for the COVID trailer, so that they had on site, I believe, for to keep people social distancing. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Farley?
Yes, that's correct.
And then the final one is, as you can see, in much smaller amounts, but these are just basically repairs that are allocated from one vehicle to another, because we do budget by vehicle. And again, as the vehicles age, it's hard to predict exactly what's going to go wrong or what the cost will be. And there's a couple here that they had no budget line, and that's not that unusual. That something, like the pool house probably hasn't needed repairs for some time. So, there was one done this year. So they would need to transfer money from somewhere within the Parks and Rec budget to cover that off. And then the others are, small amounts that were, slightly over budget just for whatever reason. I mean, there's some here that are $74 and then some are $2,000. So it's a range. And again, it's just a cleanup of our accounts coming into the year end.
Okay, good.
Hey, you're kind of jumping around there, Nancy. I was still down at water and sewer. I'm just wondering,
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. The $40,000 transfer, and it says equipment repairs. It'd be nice to kind of break that down a little bit. $40,000 is a little bit of money. If there's aging equipment out there, then maybe council should be aware of it, as opposed to making transfers. We can look at it if money has to be set aside for the new operational budget coming up. So I know they filled in the reason, but on some of it's self-explanatory. Equipment repairs, like I say, maybe that's just general, but if there's an issue, council maybe want to know about it so we can deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, I can certainly get the detail of that and forward it along. Keeping in mind, too, that some of the equipment as you know, in utility is incredibly expensive. So a repair of $40,000 or $20,000 may not be, that extraordinary. And again, this may be a multitude of pieces of equipment, but as I said, I will certainly research that and send it along to the Finance Committee for your perusal.
Great, thanks. So we're okay with the budget transfers,
Mr. Chair.
then? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Your Worship.
I know the department for water and wastewater has been stressed over the last year, well, 9 months, because of the wastewater treatment plant. We're still trying to fill that position to run the operations, and our manager's down there a lot. We have retirements coming up, but in the capital budget, we saw a lot of transfers in water and wastewater, and we're seeing the same thing in our operational budget. I think we have to provide some more financial assistance or give some more helping hand to that department, that utility, because it's very critical to our city, because wastewater, and we all need water, but wastewater has to be treated before it goes back into the river. And it's just a cautionary note that it's been happening in capital, and now these transfers are taking place in operational. So it's important to keep a close eye and again reach out to assist the department or the utility. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. So I guess we can move on to 7, which is just need a motion to move into closed session as per section 119.1, subsection E. If I can get a motion there. Thank you, Councillor Ramsey. Okay.
Okay, stand by, please.